Maps define us. Imaginary lines that delineate neighborhoods. They speak to where we've been and who we are. But these old boundaries only show part of the picture. Here are the new maps of Brooklyn. These are the maps that tell the story of Brooklyn today. And this is what it's like to live on the grid. Hi, my name is Zephyr Teachout, and we are on the grid. Today, we are going to be looking at African American homeownership in Brooklyn. We're going to be talking about the history, where we are now, and the incredible connections between homeownership and the culture, politics, and history of Brooklyn. So we're going to start with meeting again with John Mollenkopf, who is the director of the Center for Urban Research at CUNY. Morning, John.
Hello, Zephyr. Nice to see you again.
Wonderful to see you.
Another great day in Brooklyn.
Beautiful. And where are we?
Well, we're in the outer reaches of Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn, which is the largest contiguous settlement of African Americans in the Western Hemisphere.
Really?
Bigger even than Port-au-Prince, bigger than the black population of Bahia in Brazil.
The largest contiguous population of black home ownership.
Of blacks in general.
Okay. Oh,
in
okay.
the U.S., in the Western Hemisphere.
Wow.
But possibly also of homeowners too. Mm-hmm. So, well,
I was asking about home ownership because today we're focused on home ownership and its relationship to Black Brooklyn.
So the population of the whole set of communities is over 800,000 people, and 250,000 of them live in owner-occupied housing. So that's larger than many cities in the United States.
Well, show me on a map.
Okay. This is Red Hook. This is Sunset Park, where we were before. This is Park Slope and so forth. Fort Greene, Prospect Heights. And then we come out on the A train right through Bedford-Stuyvesant, where we are located now.
So we're here in Weeksville, and in a few minutes I'm going to get a tour, learn something about the history. But can you talk about the connection between Weeksville and modern African-American home ownership in Brooklyn?
It is one of the very earliest African-American settlements in Brooklyn. There was an elevated train that ran along Fulton Street from about 1888 onwards. And the interesting thing is that in the 19th century, Brooklyn was very agricultural. There are lots of farms, truck farms.
If we were looking out here 100 years ago, it would be carrots and turnips.
That's
and,
absolutely right.
broccoli.
Probably more like lettuce and tomatoes than, I don't know how easy it is to grow broccoli in Brooklyn, but but really Brooklyn began to develop rapidly at the end of the 19th century. And if you go along like St. Mark's and the other streets of this part of sort of Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights border, you can see very impressive mansions from the late 19th century, early 20th century. And the neighborhood began to be, more and more African American as the African American population of the city grew in the beginning of the 20th century. World War II was a big stimulus because of the naval shipyards of Brooklyn. And that attracted a tremendous number of African Americans from the South who came to be ship workers in the dockyard. And that also, along with the growth of the subway, enabled the community to grow steadily over the years. And it's a very middle-class community. The median income of the entire community is in around $50,000 a year for roughly a household size of about 3 people. And the homeowners have a median income of about $95,000 a year. So the people who are living here are nurses, hospital workers, bus drivers, social workers, teachers, sort of the solid middle class that keep New York City going.
Can you explain to me the relationship between high rates of home ownership and gentrification?
Well, high rates of home ownership to some degree are a barrier against gentrification because people have the option to stay or sell, and often people will stay. People, who have good housing situations stay in New York City for a long time. But at the same time, high rates of home ownership mean that properties can change hands, and sooner or later, perhaps a market price is reached where people feel that it's advantageous for them to sell because they want to retire and move back to the South or whatever. So it also creates some opportunity for newcomers to come in and buy old houses and fix them up and things of that sort.
But it would seem to me to be important because then the homeowner is the one who's going to receive the wealth from the improved, from the raised prices, as opposed to the landlord getting the benefit of the increased prices.
Yeah, it's certainly a fairer way to transfer property from one group to another rather than just have large developers and large rental housing owners making deals at the expense of all the tenants. But Bed-Stuy is changing fairly rapidly.
Well, thank you so much for this fascinating lens through which to see the day. I'm going to take my map.
Good. I'll see you tomorrow.
I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.